Why is NASA building a nuclear rocket engine? The real reason. Hi, and welcome to our channel, Fly Me to the Moon. On Tuesday, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA, and the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, announced they would work together to test a nuclear thermal rocket engine in space. This will be a necessary capacity for NASA crewed trips to Mars. The project is called Demonstration Rocket for Agile Cislunar Operations, or DRACO for short. The non-reimbursable agreement between NASA and DARPA was created to be mutually beneficial to both organizations, establish roles, duties, and processes to accelerate development efforts. This video will discuss why NASA is building a nuclear rocket engine, so stay tuned till the end of the video to know all of the details. As early as 2027, NASA and its long-term collaborator DARPA will collaborate on researching, developing, and demonstrating cutting-edge nuclear thermal propulsion technology. According to NASA Administrator Bill Nelson, quote, "A key capacity for preparing for crewed trips to Mars, this new technology will make it possible for astronauts to travel to and from deep space at a rate significantly faster than in the past," unquote. Congratulations to both NASA and DARPA on completing this critical investment as we forge ahead together into the future. So are you excited about this journey? Remember to like our video and subscribe to our channel for constant updates related to such videos. What are the various advantages of this nuclear thermal rocket? Utilizing a nuclear thermal rocket makes it possible to shorten the time spent traveling, which minimizes the amount of danger that astronauts are subjected to. Because longer travels require extra supplies and more dependable infrastructure, it's necessary for human expeditions to Mars that the time travel be cut down as much as feasible. With the help of developing transportation systems that are both faster and more efficient, NASA can realize its goal of traveling from the Moon to Mars. A greater capacity for transporting scientific payloads and a higher power for instruments and communications are two additional benefits of journeying into space. Inside a nuclear thermal rocket engine is a fission reactor, which aims to create extremely high temperatures for the engine's propulsion system. The machine transfers the heat the reactor generates to the liquid fuel as it goes. And then the power is expanded and the heat is released through the nozzle, which ultimately causes the spacecraft to move forward. Nuclear thermal rockets have the potential to be up to 3 times more efficient than conventional chemical rocket propulsion, which may only be 3 times as efficient. NASA Administrator Pam Melroy states, quote, "NASA has a long history of cooperating with DARPA on efforts that enable our separate missions, such as in-space maintenance," unquote. One of the endeavors that have profited from this relationship is the in-space service, which is an example of one of the missions. Expanding the scope of our partnership to incorporate research into nuclear propulsion will assist in bringing the goal of sending humans to Mars one step closer to becoming reality. By the agreement's stipulations, the Space Technology Mission Directorate, or STMD, of NASA will spearhead the initiative to direct the technical development of the nuclear thermal engine that will be integrated with DARPA's experimental spacecraft. This will take place by the terms of the agreement. DARPA, which is serving as the contracting authority for the project, is assisting in the development of the complete stage and the engine, which houses the reactor. DARPA will be in charge of guiding the entire program, which will involve approvals, scheduling, security measures, and integrating and procuring rocket systems. Moreover, DARPA will be accountable for guaranteeing safety and liability and the complete assembly and integration of the engine with the spacecraft. This responsibility falls under the umbrella of the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. Before the in-space demonstration, which may occur as soon as 2027, NASA and DARPA will collaborate on the engine assembly during development. This will take place before the in-space rally. According to Dr. Stephanie Tompkins, director of DARPA, DARPA and NASA have a long history of good collaboration in advancing technologies for our respective missions. This collaboration has resulted in everything from the Saturn V rocket that took humans to the Moon for the first time to robotic servicing and refueling of satellites. The successful operation of modern commerce, the expansion of scientific knowledge, and the nation's defense all rely heavily on the space realm. It will be essential to have the ability to make significant leaps forward in space technology through initiatives such as the DRACO nuclear thermal rocket program to be able to send material to the moon more promptly and efficiently, and eventually people to Mars. More than half a century ago, as part of NASA's Nuclear Engine for Rocket Vehicle application and rover missions, the United States conducted its final nuclear thermal rocket engine tests. The ultimate goal of these initiatives was to create atomic propulsion systems that could be used on spacecraft. Jim Reuter, the Associate Administrator for STMD, has stated that the organization will, quote, harness our knowledge gathered from many earlier space and nuclear power and propulsion initiatives, unquote. We can put our expertise to good use in working together on this project. Latest developments in aircraft engineering and the materials used in aerospace manufacturing are paving the way for a new era in space nuclear technology. The successful completion of this flight demonstration will be a significant step toward establishing a space transportation capability for an economy based on Earth and the Moon. Current developments in aerospace materials and engineering are paving the way for the beginning of a new age in space nuclear technology. So, getting interested in the video now? We're delighted that this subject is keeping you interested. If you like the video so far, then hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so that you can get new updates when we upload new videos. What does the NASA Deputy Administrator have to say? During the presentation, NASA Deputy Administrator Pam Melroy mentioned that DRACO would be essential to evaluating the technologies allowing humanity to travel further into the solar system. Quote, our goal is to pioneer and establish a strategy for human exploration and long-term presence over the whole solar system, unquote. That is DRACO's mission statement and an essential objective to work toward, and using these cutting-edge technologies will be an integral component of it. NASA and DARPA have disclosed an interagency agreement outlining each agency's duties and responsibilities. The deal gives NASA absolute control over the development and fabrication of the nuclear thermal rocket engine, but the agreement assigns DARPA jurisdiction over the experimental NTR vehicle, or XNTRV, the spacecraft the proposed nuclear rocket engine will fuel. Also, DARPA will be responsible for operating and disposing of the XNTRV once it's in orbit. Melroy says that NASA and DARPA have a long history of working together on initiatives that facilitate their respective objectives, such as in-space servicing. Extending their collaboration to include nuclear propulsion will help move NASA's aim of sending humans to Mars one step closer to reality. The concept of a nuclear rocket has existed for many decades. In 1979, NASA's Nuclear Engine for Rocket Vehicle application, or NERVA program, aimed to launch a crewed mission to Mars using a nuclear rocket as its primary propulsion system. But also in 1972, the program was terminated due to funding cuts and concerns about the escalation of the Cold War. NASA is also conducting a separate project with the Department of Energy, or DOE, in the United States to explore concepts for higher temperature fission fuels and reactors as part of a nuclear thermal propulsion engine. This particular engine will not be used as part of DRACO. NASA and the Department of Energy have collaborated with business partners on the development and designs for nuclear-powered reactors that have the potential to be used on the Moon and then maybe Mars. Government space agencies and private spaceflight corporations have made it one of their key aims to one day be able to send humans to Mars as part of their exploration endeavors. The Artemis program is an integral aspect of NASA's Moon to Mars concept, which aims to use the information gleaned from the space agency's planned lunar exploration to further the mission of sending humans to Mars and establishing a permanent human settlement there. In the meantime, SpaceX has announced that it will soon launch an orbital trip of its Starship vehicle. This is the vehicle that the company intends to use someday to touch down on the surface of Mars. Other private space companies are aiming to beat that objective. So, let's see what the outcome will be by the year 2027. But until then, remember to watch the other videos on our channel. We're sure you'll find them very interesting. If you enjoyed watching this video, please subscribe to our channel, Fly Me to the Moon, and give the video a thumbs up by clicking the like button.